Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mihir Shah once again with another video. In this video, we are going to learn about the most important theory question that you need to study under the subject wealth management. A very important video for all the TYBMS Sem V students. So in this video, we are going to take up various questions that you need to cover up under each chapter and what are the most important short notes that you need to learn. Okay, so those who are appearing for practical part, they only need to do the short notes. Those who are not appearing the practical part needs to go through both the answers as well as the short note. Okay, so chalo, let us see what are the various questions that you need to cover up each unit and each chapter wise. Okay, under unit 1 chapter 1, number 1, describe wealth management process. Second, what is the scope of wealth management? Next is explain the component of wealth management in brief. Okay, next, explain the principle of wealth creation in brief. Okay, next is describe the challenges of wealth management. And lastly, what are the code of ethics for a wealth manager? Okay, the unit 1 chapter 1 is the most important chapter because one topic from these will always be there in your paper, and if lucky there can be 2 questions which can come up from these questions, these set of questions. Okay, so you all can note it down. Okay, next, unit 1 chapter number 2. First, explain the steps in building a financial plan. Second, explain the goals based financial planning in brief. And third, explain the requirement of goal based financial planning and its advantages. Again, very important topics under chapter number 2 unit 1. You all can go through it once. Okay, next, under unit 1 chapter number 3, what are the leading economic indicators of the economy? Second, what is yield curve and explain the different types of yield curve. Very important topic this one is. Okay, this usually comes under both, even it comes in long answer, it even comes under short notes. Okay, so very important topic. And what are the reason for changes in interest rate? You all can go through it once. This is unit 1, 3 chapters are there in unit 1 and these were the important topics that you need to cover up. Okay, next, unit 2 chapter number 4, very important topic again. What is insurance planning and explain the rights of insured in brief. Second, discuss the functions of insurance in brief. So whenever they tell you function is basically primary and secondary functions. Okay, next, what is general insurance and what are the various types of general insurance. Next, explain primary and secondary functions of insurance. That's the same thing. If they ask you function, you need to mention both primary and secondary. Okay, so that's 2 different questions which they can usually ask, but the answers are same for both. Next, what are the rights of the insurer? Okay, it's similar to the first part, first question ka the second part. Next, what are the principle of insurance? And lastly, explain the characteristic or features of insurance. This was unit 2 chapter number 4. Next, unit 2 chapter number 5, very important topic this is. First, what is asset allocation and explain the features of asset allocation in brief. Next, what is passive asset management and what are the advantages and disadvantages. Next is what is active asset management and what are its advantages. Or you can even be asked what is the difference between active and passive investment strategies. Okay, so basically you need to learn the distinguish between active and passive and the advantages and disadvantages. That will cover up the most part of this chapter. Next, what are the factors affecting the risk profile of a client? And last, what is investment planning, and discuss the different types of investment risks which are associated with investment planning. This was unit 2, chapter number 5. Next, unit 3, chapter number 6. Only one important answer: what is ratio analysis and what are its important advantages? Because unit 3 is basically more practical part rather than the theoretical part, so only one answer is the most important in this. Next, unit 3, chapter number 7. What is TDS and when is it payable? Next one, very important answer: what is a will and what are the types of wills? Next, discuss the requirement of a valid will. And lastly, what is estate planning and what are the tools of estate planning? Again, a very important topic. Okay, next we have unit 4, chapter number 8. Now this again topics are very important from the theoretical point of view of the paper. What is retirement planning and what is its needs and purpose? Next is explain the pre and post retirement strategies. Next, what is estate planning and explain its objectives. Next we have what are the steps in retirement evaluation and planning. And last, explain financial objectives in retirement planning in brief. Next, unit 4, chapter number 9. Okay, basically the last chapter. So what are annuities and explain its types, and what is new pension scheme and explain the features of NPS. Okay, so these are the answers from chapter 1 to chapter 9 which all need to thoroughly learn. You can easily score complete in this particular topic if you are not attempting the theoretical the practical part. Okay, the students who are having difficulty in the practical part and those who are going for theoretical part, these are all the answers that you need to cover up under each chapter. Okay, now the last is the short note, which is by default everyone will have to attempt that. So let us see those important topics that you need to cover up in for learning your short note. Now some of the question might already be there in the answers that we have just discussed. Okay, the question. So let us see which are the questions that you need to cover up. So the first set of short notes are principle of utmost good faith. That usually comes under principle of insurance. Then we have a short note on health insurance, public provident fund, HNWI, national pension scheme, which was just there in chapter number 9, requisites of a valid will or requirement of valid will. Again, these questions are already repeated in answer the following also. Then we have deduction under section 80C, the list of deductions. Under that you can give a small explanation also. Okay, these are the first set of short notes. Next, life cycle model, very important topic. Components of wealth management, again that is from the chapter 1. Tax deducted as so, that is TDS. Again we have already discussed that in the previous answers. Scope of health insurance, wealth management, mediclaim, active investment management. Okay. Next, what are the challenges to wealth management? Deduction under section 80D, responsibilities of insurers. So multiple questions have already been repeated in the previous question that I had gone through. Okay. Then we have senior citizen savings scheme, important topic this is. ULIP pension scheme, long term capital gain tax, Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. So these are all your schemes which comes under 80C. Okay. Okay. And now last set of the short note that you need to cover up. Post office monthly investment scheme, that is MIS. Importance of yield curve, as I told you, yield curve is important for both the answers also and for short note. Responsibilities of the insured, again very important topic. limitation of ratio analysis, and lastly, what are the factors affecting interest rate. Okay, so these were all the theory questions that you need to cover up under answer the following and short notes. Again, those who are attempting the practical sum need not study the answer the following, they can only concentrate on short notes. Those who are not going to attempt the practical part can accordingly study both the theoretical part, the answer the following and the short note. Okay, so I hope everyone have noted down. With that, we will be ending this video here. Thank you.